What is going on, everybody? Today we are going to be doing a world tour of my Minecraft realm that I have been playing on for the past couple months. What we can do is we can start off right here. This is my little hobbit hole. One of the first things that I built whenever I was starting my world, I needed a place for storage. So I ended up trying for this little cozy, underground, lush looking cave. This is where I store all of my things. It is something that I will probably outgrow in the future. As you can see, I don't have the most chests in here, but I really, really like how this build turned out. It is a perfect combination of that cozy feel while also giving Hobbit hole vibes, and I just really, really like how it turned out. You can see here we have our extra armor sets. This one is fully enchanted. I just need to upgrade it to netherite. Random shulker box here with all my rockets. But what we can do is we can go ahead and head on out of here. I'll show you the outside of it real quick. This is the exit. I do have my golden carrots right there for easy access. So going back up to this starting area right here, I tried to make a little bit of a farm here. This was probably one of the first things that I built. I decided I wanted a little farm area, a lot of color. I decorated the path here with some little bushes. I bone mealed up the pathway along the sides here. Added a couple little ponds. This one's a small one in the corner, and then I have one over here as well, which actually holds all of my axolotls. These I found whenever I was exploring the lush caves that are actually right below my little area right here, and I actually named them as well. So if we look around, what we see is Bill and Ted. Those are my first two axolotls that I actually got in the pond. And since then, I've kind of been collecting them whenever I see them. I haven't really bred them at all because I didn't know what actually was needed. And I finally figured out that it was tropical fish. So I've done that a couple times, but most of these have just been found in the lush caves underneath my base here. I was actually really fortunate in being able to find a lot of them. And then if we turn around here, what we see is my first large build on the server here. And it's just like a little cottage style house. It's quite large. I haven't gotten to decorating the interior of it yet, but if we go inside, you can see it goes up quite a bit. There's 4 floors. I started putting some armor stands in there, maybe transferring some of the armor from my storage room up here eventually. I plan on putting probably a basement in at some point where I have a nether portal and enchanting setup and everything. But it goes up 4 floors. Down here on the third floor, actually, there's a little balcony that kind of overlooks everything. I really, really like the view from up here. Even though some of the builds down here are a little bland, that's something that I'm planning on fixing in the future. But for now, it's functional. So I don't really feel the need to put a whole lot of effort into it, especially whenever some of the stuff down there, I'm probably going to be moving anyway. But we'll check that out here in a sec. We'll go down to the first floor and leave out of here. There are some things around this area that I would like to do as well. Some of these areas, like right here, there's really not a lot going on, and I would like to clean that up a bit, make it a little more busy so it matches everything else. Maybe do some stuff in the background over here to really tie everything together and make it feel like one cohesive build, everything here. Back here as well, I want to put something back here, but I'm not sure what, and I want to kind of grade all this stuff in order to make it look a little better around the build itself. Moving down here, we will see a little unfinished build here. This was actually a build that my brother's girlfriend hopped on the Realm and started building. And she didn't really enjoy the game that much, which is understandable, but she started building this, and I'm probably going to end up taking it down at some point with his permission, just to make sure, you know, she's not getting back on again. But for right now, it's going to stay there. For the longest time, we actually had a boat down here that had a couple creepers sitting in it, and it looks like someone finally got rid of that. And we'll go ahead and move on over to our other little house here. This is obviously our cow pen. I don't know if they need fed, but we don't have any food for them. Moving into this house here, this is actually the first house that I built on the server. This was our starter base. I ended up planting a whole bunch of sugarcane all around here just because we needed it for books, to make the enchanting setup, and so on. The inside of this house itself isn't very decorated either. There used to be a couple of beds up here, but those ended up being dispersed into other houses. There's a nice little balcony that looks out onto the water. You can see a little bit back there with a wall that I've been building. We'll go see that in a second. But the best part of this build is the basement. This is what I sunk a lot of my time into whenever I first started playing, was really designing this basement and making it look decent. I ended up building a super smelter as well over here. It's currently not functional because we ended up making a better one, and you'll see that as well. Got our little storage right here, enchanting setup. This was actually our first strip mine that we started building out and digging in, and of course the nether portal. So going back up, what we can do is we can look at the couple of buildings that are right outside here. This is the entrance to another strip mine, as you can see, but it just leads down here, across a little bridge and a nice little cave, and it goes all the way down there. Moving over here, this is a farm that my brother set up. It has dispensers in the back, and all you gotta do is press this button, water flows down, everything collects in this hopper right here, and you can pick it up in this chest. Pretty simple, pretty easy. The only thing I don't like is the crops getting trampled all the time by mobs, or if you accidentally land on it. It's the only issue. Moving over here, this is actually my brother's base. We can go check out the top floor first. This is where he has all of his unique armors that he has acquired. He has them all set on armor stands to display them. He has the extra set of netherite as well. The dried ghast right there. And then he has TNT up here, which he was using to mine for netherite. Moving down to the bottom here, this is his storage room. He was actually making some dyes so we could get some different colored shulker boxes, so that's what those are for. His storage, he's got his little smelting room over here with so many anvils. I don't know what he needs all those anvils for, but it might just be for decoration. And then we'll go back up here. And just moving on over, we can go see the villager trading hall. And in here you have all the librarians at the bottom. We have a mix of a couple other villagers over here on the side, but mostly librarians. This is where the big mending guy is. He also has some Unbreaking 3, Silk Touch. You know, everything that you would need is right here. And then if we go up a floor, we go to the farming villagers. And this is where I get most of my emeralds. This is where I do the melons and the pumpkins. I actually have a farm for both of those. And then moving up to the third floor, we have our armorers, which we plan on trading up for iron trades because of the iron farm that we have. There's just so much iron currently that we don't know what to do with. So that might be a good way to get some emeralds and get some backup gear from the librarian traders. Moving over here is the iron farm that I mentioned. This thing is very good. It produces a lot of iron. As you can see here, it's still coming in, and we have a ton of blocks over here as well. Like I said, more than we ever know what to do with. It's just finding stuff to use this on is mostly bigger redstone, hopper, chain stuff, and we just haven't really gotten into a whole lot of that yet. Moving back over here to the one thing we missed, well, I guess a couple things that we missed. This is actually a villager breeder. There's probably, I don't know if there's anything in here currently. No, there isn't. I used most of the villagers that were in there, and I threw them up into the third floor of the villager trading hall, so they haven't been breeding. And then this is our sugarcane farms. You can never have enough sugarcane, especially whenever you have elytra and need rockets. This is bamboo and sugarcane. I threw the bamboo in here just for easy sticks for villager trading. So I thought that that would be a good idea, just to have a constant source of sticks and cheap wood, just in case you need to make any chests or anything. So I'm going to hop back over here to my brother's base real quick, go to sleep, and then I'll show you Malachi's house. So over here you can see a couple of the buildings that he's built. This first one is actually a stable for his skeleton horse. It used to be a cow and sheep farm, but those did not survive. I believe he called them off not too long ago, but it's now the home of his skeleton horse. Moving over to this is actually the XP farm. There's instructions, but what it is there's armadillos in there, and there's a zombie underneath this cobblestone right here. And if you light the campfire, they get hurt, but since they're curled up scared by the zombie, you can throw a potion of infestation in there and silverfish will spawn. So you just go here, kill some silverfish, and then after 3 minutes or so, I believe you gain about 30 levels. So it's pretty quick. Probably the best XP farm, one of the best XP farms that I've ever used on a Minecraft server. Very efficient, and you can upgrade and enchant your gear very quickly. Down here in the basement of it, you can just see there's an enchanting setup, brewing stands, all the stuff you need to make the infestation potions. And then if we go around here, if you follow the little walkway, it's his little crop farm here that he made, kind of in the same theme of everything else. Here's an automatic composter for bone meal, so it's easy access when crops are harvested. And then going into the base here, we can see what he's got going on. This was his original base. Very rudimentary. This was a wall of chests. This was also chests. Then you got the nether portal and the enchanting setup here. But if you go down here, this is actually an expansion in his base. So all the important materials are over here on the wall. You got the extra netherite set of armor, decorative iron set of armor, beds. And if we go through here, this is actually the main area of his build. So at the top there, it's just visual, got the lava with the black glass, and all the storage you could ever need. I mean, if he ever runs out of storage in this place, I will be very, very, very surprised. And then if we end up going down a level, this is a work in progress. I don't know what he's going to put here, but looks like he has the dimensions shaped out of it. But like I said, not quite sure what he's got going on there. Over here is the super smelter that we got set up. It is a 32 furnace array. It smelts stuff very, very quickly. And it's just using the hopper mine carts to deposit the fuel and the input across all furnaces, and it just smelts them up real quick. Over here is a lava farm. This was meant to be fuel for the super smelter over there, but I think it looks very cool, especially when you step back and take a look at it from a distance. The lava lights everything up, makes everything nice and lit up, and you know, functional. And then over here is the armory, as he likes to call it. It has a big glass window that looks down into a mine shaft, and I think that's pretty cool. That's about it for Malachi's base. Now, if we go over here, we can look at Shane's base. Shane hasn't been on to play in a while, but this is what he built whenever he was first playing. He's got everything in here that you would need. Your pet, your bed, crafting table, furnace, and that's pretty much it. Other than that, I feel like this was built mainly for the looks. And then he doesn't like you on the grass, so sorry about that. And then this is a little care package that we got him to try to get him back on the game and playing, because he's been so far behind. We kind of gave him everything that he would need. The netherite gear, fully enchanted diamond tools, some rockets, and we did have an elytra in there, but I believe one of us had a little accident and had to take it. But moving over to the wall. This wall is something that I'm still debating. I don't know whether or not I would like to continue the wall all the way around the island or not, or how high up I would like the wall to go. But like I said, I'm not really sure what I want to do with it. I might just end up tearing it all down and making this whole little island here a little town, like a little medieval town, which is something that I definitely like to do. This right here is my moss farm, which also doubles as a bone meal farm. I really like the moss blocks. and this produces a lot of them. It's something that I definitely want to start building with in the future, whether that be large terraforming projects with the moss, or even like a roof to a house with some moss scattered in there. This is also, I believe, in the way of a build that I'm planning on this little area right here, so this might not be here for too much longer. I would like to make a bigger one in the future anyway, so that just might work itself out. The bigger one, I think, would get me more bone meal than anything, and you can never have enough bone meal when it comes to late game farms. So I'm probably going to end up building one that's like double the size, and hopefully that'll be okay. Moving over to this little build right here, this is the melon and pumpkin farm. So this thing produces quite a bit of melons and pumpkins. If I go over here, you can see that I'm pretty stocked up on pumpkins. Melons, not so much. I trade these a lot with the villagers over at the trading hall, but there's even more pumpkins down here and even more in the chest. Down here, we have an auto crafter that's crafting all the melon slices into melons, and they're all going down here. So that makes my life a little bit easier when it comes to managing that the copious amounts of melon slices that I get throughout this farm. So I can sit here in AFK overnight and I won't have to worry about these chests filling up with anything, because that auto crafter is crafting all the melon slices into melons. But yeah, my plans for this whole area here, this big island, is I want to build a big old like castle with walls here and have a little city inside of it. Not necessarily a castle itself, but just castle walls with a city inside of it, with a couple houses, like an inn, and maybe like a bar, and just like a couple of market shops in the castle walls themselves. So that's something that I'm probably going to be documenting and recording over the next few weeks. Trying to get that built and getting the materials gathered is going to be a pain, but I believe that it'll be worth it in the end. I think it'll fill out this area really well, and I think it'll look good as well. I have it all planned out in a creative world, but it's just getting the materials and starting it in here. The last thing we could probably do is go check out the Nether. I just recently built a wither skeleton farm, so we can go check that out, and then that's probably it for the world tour. So we'll just hop in here real quick. And then if we fly over this way, right here is the farm. As you can see, the wither skeletons get attracted to the iron golem, and they go in that nether portal, which links to one in the overworld, and they get pushed through a column and go into another nether portal, which actually links up on the nether roof. And there's a chamber there where you can kill them and get some wither skeleton skulls, so you can kill the wither and get your beacons. So that's about it. There will be a lot of progress being made on this server, this realm, over the coming weeks, and I'm gonna try to get videos out about that, everything that I do Anyway, guys, if you like the video, go ahead and consider dropping a sub on the channel so you can keep updated with the progress that I make. I hope you all have a wonderful day.